Right now, Donald Trump's immigration plan making waves as he promised to put an end to illegal immigration. But there's another presidential candidate sounding the same alarm. Texas Senator Ted Cruz has long been an immigration hawk. He joins us. Good evening, sir.
Greta, it's always great to be with you.
Okay. Sir, what is your view on birthright citizenship?
Well, birthright citizenship is a policy that doesn't make sense anymore. We right now have over 12 million people who've come here illegally, and it doesn't make sense that our law automatically grants citizenship to their children. That's simply incentivizing illegal immigration. And I would note that this is something I've been speaking out against since I first began running for the Senate back in 2011. So I'm glad that Donald Trump has taken up this cause, is shining some light on it. It is important that we not have our laws incentivize illegal immigration. Instead, we've got to solve illegal immigration and secure the borders. And that's exactly what I intend to do as president.
All right. Well, let me take you back to 2011 when you were on a show, the Duke Machado show, I don't know how it's pronounced. And you said, as much as someone may dislike the policy of birthright citizenship, it's in the Constitution. And I don't like it when federal judges set aside the Constitution because their policy preferences are different. And so my view, I think it's a mistake for conservatives to be focusing on trying to fight what the Constitution says on birthright citizenship. So how do you reconcile sort of your views now with what you said in 2011?
Well, the views are entirely consistent. What I said in 2011, that's one excerpt. I had just publicly come out in favor of ending birthright citizenship as a policy matter. And indeed, I did so both orally and in writing during that campaign. Now, there's a second question, Greta, and you're a very experienced lawyer. You know the second question is...
Let me just ask you. Let me just say that you right before that, you said, I've looked at the legal arguments against it, and I can tell you as a Supreme Court litigator that those arguments are not very good.
Okay, that's exactly where I was going. There is a second question. Once you're decided that the policy change should be to end birthright citizenship, which has been my position consistently, there are two ways potentially to do that. You could try to do that through statutes that Congress passed defining who qualifies as a citizen, or you could try to do so through a constitutional amendment. And there are constitutional scholars on both sides of that issue in terms of whether it requires a constitutional amendment or not. And what I was saying there is that there are serious arguments it requires a constitutional amendment. And what I went on to say that you didn't play there is that our focus, if we want to solve this problem, our first priority should be securing the border, because either option, a statute or a constitutional amendment, can take years. It's a long, drawn-out process. We need to solve this problem today. And in January 2017, a new president, if I'm elected president, we will secure the border because we will deploy the manpower, we put the boots on the ground there, and we will enforce federal law. The Obama administration is refusing to enforce the law. So as a long-term policy objective, should we end birthright citizenship? Absolutely, and we should pursue either a statutory change or a constitutional amendment, whichever is necessary to get the job done. But the short-term solution is secure the border now.
Okay, and you said that I didn't let you go to some other place. I was actually going to add that to it. That you said that you did say, and I concede this, that you said that the conservatives would be far better off focusing on the border. You indeed did say that. All right, now let me turn to you're at the Religious Freedom Rally. When at that rally, how do you sort of reconcile that or sort of think about it in terms of what's going on in Iran right now? We can't even get Pastor Abedin home, a Christian pastor. So tell me your thoughts on this.
Yes. Well, tonight, in just a few minutes, we're going to start an incredible rally for religious liberty. And we have heroes from across the country who've stood up for their faith and have been persecuted. We have people from all over the country who have come here. We have Aaron and Melissa Klein. We have Dick and Betty Odegaard from Iowa. We have Chief Cochran from Atlanta, all of whom have stood up for their faith and all of whom have faced consequences, have faced litigations, have faced fines, have been dismissed from their jobs. And the purpose of this rally tonight is for them to tell their stories. You know, a lot of folks in the media say these threats to religious liberty aren't real. Well, tonight is an opportunity to hear from these heroes and patriots. It's going to be live streamed on our website, tedcruz.org. And you mentioned quite rightly Pastor Saeed Abedini. As you know, that has been a long passion of mine. For 3 years, Pastor Saeed, an American citizen, has been wrongfully imprisoned in Iran for preaching the gospel. Tonight, his wife, Nameh Abedini, is here with us. She's going to share her story of her husband's persecution and wrongful imprisonment for preaching the gospel. And this is a threat all of us need to come together for. We've got thousands of people coming together in Iowa, over 3,000 RSVPs. And I'll tell you, we have nationally a national petition at tedcruz.org standing together for religious liberty. I think this is a fundamental protection in our Bill of Rights that we need to stand together for. And
I must say, I'm going to take the last word on this, that one of the sort of always perplexing problems with all constitutional issues is that they oftentimes conflict with others. And while there are constitutional rights on certain issues, they sometimes conflict with other constitutional rights. And that's always been a very perplexing problem for everyone to try to reconcile them. But Dave, I'm taking the last word on. Senator, nice to talk to you, sir.
Always good to be with you, Greta.